I was with my partner for nearly 7 years, engaged for 1. We got on like a house on fire, shared many interests and passions, and felt we built each other up. We recently had just moved forward with plans for our wedding next year. Unfortunately, her job sector works often on short-term contracts, so during the relationship we moved many times, which my freelance job was able to adapt to. Recently, she bought a house with an inheritance, and I changed to a permanent job nearby to contribute more. However, once again, 6 months later, she took a permanent job 5 hours away, in the isolated countryside, with the understanding it would be experience for a year or 2, so I stayed behind with our pet. 6 months into long distance, we were mostly rotating weekends to see each other. Then my pet of 16 years died. Afterwards it was 2 weeks until I seen due to her new sports commitments. On her first night back with me, she went out with an ex-co-worker she had become friendly with, who I knew was actively having affairs. My fiancé had previously defended this girl, leading to our first argument on the topic. I picked my fiancé up later. She was drunker than I'd ever seen her. While getting her water, I glanced messages on her phone gloating to her brother's girlfriend that a soon-to-be-married male ex-co-worker had confessed feelings and kissed her. Her brother's girlfriend, who started her relationship via an affair and divorce, replied, "You're finally coming out of your box." I never had trust issues before, or looked at a single message before, but seeing this broke me. I had my first panic attack. When I immediately confronted her, she gaslit me, claiming I was seeing things and out of my mind. The next morning, she lashed out, accusing me of invading her privacy for looking towards her phone. She claimed the guy forced himself on her, yet refused to intervene or do anything about it. When I asked to see the messages to put me at ease, she threatened to break up with me. I spent the next month in hell trying to believe her and being as patient as possible to understand more. I was grieving my pet, losing weight, and unable to sleep. She denied any wrongdoing and shifted the blame to me, criticizing me for being insecure and waiting too long to propose, 5 years. At New Year's, I finally told her I couldn't go on without any empathy that I desperately need. She coldly replied, "Well, if you're going to break up with me, I may as well tell you the truth. I did kiss him back. I did cheat." Thankful for some truth coming out, I tried to work through it and tell her that she should have said that right after she was caught. Until a few days later when I brought it up again, when she told me to leave during a blizzard so she could think about what she wants. She didn't even text to see if I arrived safely at my parents'. I received a message of our doorbell being removed with a disturbing message from her brother, his GF, the one goading her on in messages, and her laughing in the background, and decided to go and remove all my stuff a few days later. 2 weeks of no contact from her, I asked to meet, if at least to see how we both felt. She arrived at the coffee shop cold and emotionless. She backtracked on any admissions of cheating, saying I was overreacting, said the doorbell video was an accident she didn't think of at the time, lied within the first 15 minutes about the timeline, and only offered a tacit sorry. She continued to blame me for the proposal timing, despite having already bought her wedding dress months prior. But realizing she was tripping over her own lies and lacked any empathy, I had a moment of clarity and pity for her, and gave her back the engagement ring she also gave me, ending the relationship for my own health. It has been 2 weeks since that talk which gave me clarity. But now I feel despair. The person I thought I knew is dead. This cold, post-cheating version of her is a stranger. I have no home in the city where I work, having been kicked out after contributing for so long, and am currently on sick leave. The trauma of the cheating is bad, but her complete lack of care has shaken me to my core. I still have to meet her in a few days to return her things and get her ring back. Despite the treatment, a part of me is still hoping for a revelation or sign of remorse from her, even though it's been 2 months since seeing those messages and not a drop. Piecing together that her brother and his GF were in on it, particularly as they are very defensive of their own affair, just adds insult to injury. My ex-fiancée is still publicly hanging out with her new friend, the girl having the affairs. As of last week, I've blocked them all from socials and am on my 3rd week of therapy, surrounding myself with friends, and hoping the final exchange of stuff will help. Though despite her move across the country, she seems to be putting in more effort than ever to commit to our mutual hobbies, spaces, and friends at the weekends now, as if nothing has happened, making me feel more isolated in order to avoid her. I still feel I'm in shock the person I knew for 7 years and who I thought was my soulmate could treat someone like this. I would never drive my worst enemy to therapy without empathy, never mind my fiancé. I worry about the long-term trauma effects. And every day I wake up feels like a living nightmare.